Welcome back to New York Talk, episode 157. I'm your host, Elyse DeLucci. How are you doing? Fact of the day, midlife crises. You know what's a myth before we get to the fact? A myth is that a midlife crisis has to happen over the age of 45 or over the age of 55. The fact is, midlife crises can happen at any age. There is no age restriction. Now look, no one's running around having a midlife at 13, okay? But the reality is that people that are 30 can have a midlife crisis, or they could be having all the symptoms of a midlife crisis. Go to the doctor, have nothing physically wrong, maybe go to mental health doctor, nothing wrong there, chemical imbalances, whatever. And it could be that they're having a midlife crisis at 30 years old. So we know I had a crisis. I got divorced at 34, 35. I don't even remember. Is that crazy? That's crazy. Not that long ago, 5 years ago. But that wasn't like the moment I had a midlife. I started having a crisis in, I would say maybe like 33, 34. I didn't know what it was. Let me just say that. I didn't know what was happening to me at the time. I just thought, and I apologize if I said this before. I don't know if I have, maybe in a video here and there on social, but let me actually rewind for a second. I was working a zillion hours a day. I had the two kids under 3 at the time. Yeah, were they under 3? Yes, they were under 2 children under 3. My girls, they're 17 months apart. People stop me, they think they're twins. They're not twins. 17 months apart, right? I was traveling. I was doing this. I was doing that. And then, of course, I had this genius idea, like, let me start stand up. But I thought I could handle it all. Sometimes we think we can handle it all and we can't, And I started to feel exhausted and I was depressed and I felt like I couldn't breathe and I couldn't get a grip. And the way that I dealt with it was I went to my psychiatrist and I had said, Dr. Long, by the way, who's no longer practicing, but I had said to him, and by the way, he retired, not because like there was anything, nefarious. I said to him, oh, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. And he would say, he had 4 kids. He was in his 60s. He would say, well, this happens. You're working, you have kids, you're married. There's cultural differences in your marriage, blah, blah. But I don't know if he was really listening to the symptoms that I was telling him. I also don't know how transparent I was being at the time because I was just trying to keep it all together, right? Anyway, fast forward, I wound up, he wound up prescribing a bunch of things. I wound up taking a bunch of things and then, my life just completely fell apart. And there are people, like I have something on my phone, hold on. Like I just saw it. Someone sent it to me. It was like, ways to deal with midlife crisis as a woman. Find a supportive community, start a journal, exercise, let your partner join you. Like, hey, listen, I'm going off the deep end. Why don't you jump into? Like, that doesn't help anybody, okay? Start something new, consider career counseling. All of these things are amazing. All these suggestions are amazing. But I think the most important one is to and there's other things, diet and exercise. Like, give me a break. I think the most important one is listening to somebody else that has been through it, is talking to somebody, a close friend, obviously a qualified, therapist that could give you tools to navigate, right? Like me starting stand up, and by the by, I'm sure but I did voice lessons, voiceover stuff before stand-up, and before stand-up I did improv. So I was always like performing. It's not like I just got up one day and was like, I'm gonna go on stage and air my laundry. No, it wasn't like that. Because that stuff gives you hope, right? Like it gives you it makes you feel like there's like some air you can breathe. Anyway, why am I talking about this? I just feel like I'm peeling back the onion a little bit. I am not completely comfortable about it because I had really dark times. That's why I had really dark times. Oh, also, why am I not comfortable about talking about it? Because there were times that I was so beside myself with work pressures. The chain of command at my last job, the chain of command changed, right? Like I was reporting into one big business unit, one big silo, right? And then they changed that, and I was reporting into somebody else, one other big, someone that's at the top, who really didn't understand what we did and why we did it, and all these things, and had a different vision and wanted to change, blah blah, and the pressure that they put on me, and who I had to fire and who I had to hire, and it was like. It was just too much. And I know you're probably like, I don't even know what she's talking about right now. But there were times I would come home from work and I would be screaming. I would literally be screaming. After the kids would go to bed, I would fight with Paul. I would be screaming on top of my lungs. Over the littlest thing. I was just breaking. Anyway, I'm not completely comfortable talking about that, because it's dark, because it's weird. But at the end of the day, everybody has mental health effing issues. Everybody has moments in their life that they can't handle. That's what makes us human. Also, what makes us human, some people are a bit stronger or have a little bit more chutzpah than others to talk about it. So I'm talking about it little by little. I'll open up more and more. But anyway, thanks for listening. Okay, here's another thing. Okay, unrelated. I have been having such a effing clothes crisis. I don't know about you. Clothing, okay? So, weeks ago, a couple months ago, I'm on the phone with Denise, right? My girlfriend Denise. And I don't know how it came up, the topic of jeans. And I remember recommending a few episodes ago to you about jeans, like, that I found on Amazon, right? Like wide leg, girlfriend jeans, boyfriend, girlfriend, stupid names. But, jeans. Cooler than skinny jeans, basically, is what I'm telling you. So Denise and I were on the phone a couple months ago, and she's like, listen, if you're going around in skinny jeans, you're basically looking like a millennial or something older. And I, of course, was then like, what the hell are you talking about? So, I told you this. So I went out and I was like, I got to get the wide leg jeans. I'm doing the wide leg jeans. And I went everywhere. I went to Gap. I went into, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, which, by the by, did you know that TJ Maxx in the UK is called TK Maxx? How weird is that? Okay, moving on, tangent over. I went into Bloomingdale's eventually, because I don't start at the top. Come on. So I went into the jeans department at Bloomingdale's because I needed to try them on in person. You're going for a whole different style. Denise was like, high rise, wide leg, do yourself a favor. The nice thing about her shape, though, is she has like a microscopic waist. She has a little tiny, cinched in, 25, 26-inch waist. Then she's bigger on the top, bigger on the bottom. But she has this tiny, tiny waist. So yeah, sure, you could wear the high-waisted palazzos, wide legs. Me, I look like, just short of a dump truck. Come on. So, but I wound up finding the Page jeans. Anessa is the style. Very cute, better than cute, comfortable, and I bought a pair and they were good, and I got them on sale, so I was happy, but it's like stressing me out. So then the other day, so hold on, my phone's blowing up. Oh, someone's FaceTime me. I don't have time for that right now. Anyway, so the other day, I put on a pair of my old Gap mid-rise, hilarious. All my jeans are like Gap. I put on a pair of my Gap mid-rise, straight leg, whatever, jeans. I felt like a nana, okay? I felt like a grandmother, compared to the wide leg. It's funny how fast you get used to it. But one thing that I found that I think it's worth sharing with you, and you should check out, White House Black Market. You know this store? Okay. Mall store in all the shopping malls. You go into any Simon Mall in the United States, and I feel like and you're seeing a White House Black Market. If you don't know it, it's a store for women. It's like career clothing, leisure clothing. Sometimes airs on the sexier side, and when I say sexier, I mean like sometimes the pants are tight and you see a little cleavage in the top. I'm not talking Fredericks Hollywood sexy. Relax. And I don't usually shop in there. Sometimes I would go in, but I don't shop in there because there's no stores in the city, and I don't live near any shopping malls. But sometimes if I see it, I'll go in, and they'll have a cute little jacket with gold buttons, or a pair of pants with a big belt, because sometimes they do these on-trend things that are better than like a blouse with printed florals, right? So I'm on the website and I find jeans. I wrote them down. Hold on, let me tell you. You gotta check them out. They had a huge sale on the website, so I got them. They were $100. I think I paid $70. They're called Everyday Soft Denim Wide Leg Jeans. High rise, stride, wide leg, ankle jeans. So whatever. High waist, palazzo, the wide leg, soft, stretch, beautiful. I got like a Mariner's pair with buttons on them. I wore them when I did a few sets. I think I posted a little crowd work from a set. You could see what they look like on my Instagram if you scroll back or whatever. That was a dark blue color. I also got them in a light blue color, not with the Mariner buttons, just the regular, the sailor type is what I'm talking about. Nice. And, it's like, listen, even $100, $70, this day and age, that's a buy. Because when I was in Bloomingdale's, there's the brand Agency. They fancy brand, beautiful jeans, stretch. Oh my God, they hug your figure, gorgeous. I mean, they run small, so I wasn't a fan. I was like, excuse me, I barely fit in these pants. Like, where's the plus size? Okay, but they wanted like $350 for a pair of jeans. Even the Page jeans, $250. Listen. If you don't have kids and you're an empty nester and you like to spend that kind of money, or you have that kind of money to spend, good for you. But when I see $250 jeans, I'm thinking, am I gonna put that towards, maybe taking my kids for lunch, buying some groceries, their favorite snacks that are never on sale, or and get myself a pair of jeans from the Gap, or am I gonna just spend it on you gotta take and give, the whole thing. Anyway. I bought the jeans. I feel good, great, but you do run into a little bit of an issue when your top isn't tight. Because when your top isn't tight and you have the wide leg jeans on, and if you don't wear a heel, I look like a mushroom. Anyway, moving on. Last night I went to an amazing event. You got to go next year if you're in New York. Garden of Laughs at Madison Square Garden. It's a comedy benefit. Fabulous talent was on it. Not moi. That's okay. We're working towards that. Whoa, this is a journey, people. But amazing. Sam Morril was on it. Jim Gaffigan. Michael Che from SNL. Love him. Bill Burr was there. Chris DiStefano. Who else? The presenters. There was presenters. Edie Falco. Ben Stiller. Cameron Manhunt. I mean, it was a female comedian was on, only one. I think there should be more. Just saying, who am I? Heather something. I don't know. Heather, something with an M. I don't know her, but she was on Funny Girl. Little dirty, but funny, The benefit was for this charity that supports New York City, and that supports inner city kids in New York, kids that grow up without tons of opportunities. And last night, the benefit, it raised $2 million, and it was amazing. It was just great. It was great. They had a lot of Rangers players. They had some of the Knicks players there presenting. Let me tell you something. You know what's so funny? I'm not a sports person, if we haven't put that together yet, and I don't know much about sports. I don't know what these guys look like, except if I see them ever on TV far away, in the field, wherever they play, on an ice rink. I don't even know what you call it, an ice skating rink. They called up two of the, I guess, retired. Is that what they're retired Rangers? Lundqvist or something, and then someone else. I don't know who these people are. So I'm sitting in my seat, and I was literally about to look down. Right? Like, just take a sip of my water or whatever. Oh, yeah. And then these two men came out to present or talk about, present facts about the charity and bring up the next comedic act. And I literally stopped myself from bending down, looking down. They were gorgeous. Like these retired hockey players, they're beautiful. They're gorgeous. First of all, they come out dressed to the nines. Sharp suit, the shoulders. Oh my God. Big, tall, delicious. Older, like Silver Fox. And I don't like, my boyfriend, my boyfriend's older. I don't always go for older men. Why is my computer shaking? You know why let me tell you why my computer's shaking. My computer's shaking right now. I'm recording this on my computer and it's shaking. Okay. You know why? Because I'm doing too much gesticulating. It must be making the computer shake. If you're watching this or gonna watch this, you're gonna get freaking seasick. Let me see if I can. Anyway, these guys were beautiful. They were beautiful. I have the older boyfriend, but that's not something I set out. I don't seek out like an older man. I think there's perks to an older man, but as you get older, it's nice to have somebody that's a bit young, because older guys, are older, right? They're older and they fall asleep and they're set in their ways, and I deal with a lot of that stuff, and I'm not going to get into it. I don't want to insult him, but you and I, we know what the deal is. Although I will say, I don't go for younger. I don't go for guys that are younger than me. Again, maybe like now that I'm in my 40s, but like I could consider it one day if I was single, but I never did. My nose is so itchy on the side. Anyway, okay, TV talk. Watched a great thing on Netflix. I think it was Netflix. The Black Godfather, a doc about a guy, Clarence Avant. He's like this behind-the-scenes mogul in music and politics and show business, and he knows everybody, and everybody who's everybody was on this documentary. And I never heard of this guy because I'm in the business, but I'm in comedy. And, and Puffy was talking, and he's got a lot of issues right now. God. Obama was talking. I mean, the span of people. It was an amazing documentary. I can't even describe it. You gotta watch it. The other thing I've been watching, I'm not finished yet. It's a 2-season long series, and I love it because it has like 10 episodes per season, so you really get to be, like invested. When I say invested, I should actually retract that. I mean, you really get to be committed to a show for a few weeks or however long. Each episode is different though, so you're not actually invested. After the episode is over, you're done, you move on to somebody else, which I think is great because it holds your attention span. Anyway, it's on Hulu and it's called The Dark Side of Comedy. And if you listen to me because I'm a comedian, which you just might even listen to me because I'm a girl with a life and you find occasionally funny, whatever your preference is. You know that in stand-up comedy and even comedic actors and personalities, a lot of us deal with a dark side, right? Whether it's a dark side of the personality, whether there's a lot of vices, drinking, drugs, whatever. So the dark side of comedy, it highlights one person per episode. Like I said, Chris Farley, Joan Rivers is an upcoming one. Bunch of people, and what's his name, Artie Lang. You remember Artie Lang? I mean, he's still around. I love Artie Lang. He stand up on Howard, talks about what you don't know about them, what their struggles are, their friends are on. Some of the people like Chris Farley, obviously not around anymore. Such a good show. If you're in comedy, it's worth watching it. Even if you're not in comedy and you just want to see the humanity of some of us in the arts, it's great. It's great. Okay. So, still doing keto. I'm doing it. Last night had a cauliflower pizza. I got home so late from the benefit. I got home, it was like midnight, and I was hungry, and I have this Costco cauliflower pizza. I don't know the brand, but it's very good. And the thing is it says it's low carb because it's like, wear a cauliflower crust. Meanwhile, you flip over the box, it's like 300,000 carbohydrates. Relax yourself, you're lying. Everybody's doing the buzzwords on the box, right, to get you to buy. The thing is it's not the white flour, but there's sugar in it and there's everything. And you know what? It's delicious. So I've gotten myself used to, by the by, having this in the freezer, that if my kids, I get pizza for the kids, or if I make pizza for the kids, because we make pizza a lot, in a sheet pan, bake it at a very high temperature, and then, the crust is dark. Like, I love that. Anyway, if we make pizza, or if I order pizza, I'm dying. I'm dying for a slice. I can't have a slice. So I'll make a cauliflower pizza, and, maybe I'll eat half, and then I'm cheating for the day. All right, whatever. Last night I had the cauliflower pizza. I'm a little regretful this morning, but what's going to happen? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I have, though, been really trying hard, on the keto. So when St. Patrick's Day came around, I do what I do. I made corned beef and cabbage. We're not Irish, but we celebrate. Why not? I had my kids, they don't really like corned beef. Not corned beef. They don't really like the cabbage. Fine. I bought one head of cabbage. I cut it in half. I put the other half in the fridge. So now I have this whole head of cabbage, whole half a head of cabbage, and I'm just like, what am I going to do with it? Thinking about it. I start looking online. I find this recipe. I made it. I thought it was delicious, and it's keto, and it's no carbs. This is what it is. You can Google. It sounds not attractive. Like, it doesn't sound appetizing. Why can't I talk this morning? It doesn't sound appetizing. Fried bacon and cabbage with onion and garlic. I know. Basically, all you do is you saute some onion and garlic in some olive oil, right? You put the bacon in, fry it up, and, well, let me tell you what I did after, but you fry the bacon, remove the bacon, dice it up small, put it on the side somewhere, then add the cabbage in, little salt, little pepper, cover the pot or the saute pan, let that wilt down 10 minutes, add back in the chopped bacon, stir it up, mix it up, let it cook for, again, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then take it off and you're done. It didn't really taste like cabbage, and it tastes bacony, and it was filling. It almost tastes, which sounds crazy, it almost tastes like a very savory northern Italian pasta dish. I know, you're like, what? Yeah, because the cabbage, I sliced the cabbage thin, like in thin strips, almost if it was like a trophy pasta, like basically like a quarter of the length of a spaghetti, maybe a third of the length of a spaghetti, right? So it had a pasta length, the cabbage, and it was thin. It wasn't like, I didn't cut it in squares, right? I didn't dice the cabbage. It was very good. How I made it tried to be a little less with the bacon or whatever. I microwave the bacon. I put bacon on paper towels on a plate, and I microwave it until it's very crispy. Took that out, diced it up, and then I just did the saute, garlic and oil, the cabbage, put the garlic and oil, and saute the garlic and onion in the oil, then put the cabbage in. And then once that was wilted down, I put my microwaved, blotted, chopped up bacon in the thing, and I was using turkey bacon because that's what I had. So it was yummy. You gotta try it. Listen, some of these things on diets, we eat things on diets, they're not always they don't always sound delicious. It's like when I make chicken cutlets and I use almonds, like ground up almonds, and some Parmesan cheese and salt and pepper, and I'm breading the cutlets like that and then baking them. If I told some, Italian-American purist home cook, they would be like, oh, God, what a horror. Like, you're not, using the 4C breadcrumb. Yeah, listen, I like it. Of course I want to use that. Of course I do. But, come on. It's not always. You got to be creative. Anyway. What's been driving me nuts? And it's my product of the day. My teas. I drink a lot of tea because, come on, Paulie the Tooth, British, come on. I didn't grow up drinking tea. All I saw was women who had coffee and men who had coffee. Maybe people had tea if, I don't know, they were going to the plaza or something, which my family didn't do that, for a high tea. No, actually, that's not true. The only time I saw anybody have tea was probably my grandmother at like the Chinese restaurant. You know, they bring like the black tea, like a scoop of pistachio ice cream and some oranges. You know what I'm saying? But I have a ton of teas. My daughters like tea. They like chamomile. And, I only let them drink that really because some of them have tons of caffeine. But I have so many tea boxes and bags or whatever. I'm like, I got to organize this. How do I do it? I went on Amazon. I found a bamboo box. You know, when you go to the restaurant and they say, oh, do you want tea? Fancy restaurant. And they bring you out this beautiful box. Yeah, I bought it. $27 on Amazon. The brand, Royal House. I loved it. Big natural bamboo tea organizer. Here's the thing. I bought the 12, so it has the 12 compartments for the tea. That's great. But they have an 8 one where you have the 8 compartments. I should have probably bought the 8 because it would fit in the cabinet with more room. The 12 just slides into the cab, and it's almost like it's custom made for the cabinet, but it's a little large. But I do have a lot of different types of teas, so that's why I bought the 12. But I also think this is a nice gift. It's a nice gift for somebody. Mother's Day's around the corner. What are you gonna get people? Your mother. If you buy your sister, like what? Nobody needs anything. I mean, maybe they need white like jeans because everybody's dressing like I don't even know what. My God, white like jeans. Like what is going? You know how, if I didn't do this job, stand up, I wouldn't even be so concerned about feeling like I needed to be looking a little freshish. I mean, maybe I would, but you know what I mean. On the clothing note, I forgot to tell you earlier, I've also been on the hunt for like some jackets. So like keep me posted if you've been finding any like cool jackets, blazer. Like I want something like cropped, but not like below the bubby cropped. You know, like I what am I gonna do? I have arms that do not look like I have been on the cast of Baywatch. My upper arms look like they flap in the wind. They say hello to people after I walk by, okay? I got the arms. I have big boobies. And then, because I've had children, I don't have like a flat, tight stomach. You know, I mean, I have a normal, womanly shape. I'm gonna go and buy a freaking crop top jacket that's gonna what? Hug my arms, come right below my boobs, emphasize that, and then what? Put extra eyes on my midsection. Get the hell out of here. I'm looking for like a cropped blazer, cute jacket that I could wear during the day, in the spring, maybe in the summer. Also, if I want to go get drinks, something chic, but like not leather, because it's, gonna be warm. Anyway, keep me posted if you find anything. I'm on the hunt. I told you it's a lot of clothes stuff. Every year it's the same thing. It's the winter, summer. I think I'm getting close though to finding some jackets because I've been scouring the web. I'm scouring the web, and I'm sure on the next episode I will have something for you. And hopefully it's not like, oh, I found a great jacket at Burlington Coat Factory, which then you can't get it because they have only like one style, one color forever. Anyway, quote of the day by Cher. Is that like, love Cher. 4 letters, 1 name. Icon. Amazing. Shit. If you can't go straight ahead, you can go around the corner. Shit, that's the most mafia quote I've ever heard, and I love it. Okay, I'm Elyse DeLucci. This is New York Talk. Thanks for listening.